It was a case that found us. That was the first interesting thing about that case. So the judge, which is allowed in South African law, asked us to come in as the amicus curiae. And then we approached CASEC, which is an organization that protects the Constitution, to come in and be our client. The other very interesting thing about that case was, you know, they often say we always challenge government. That wasn't a case where we challenged government. That was a case where we actually supported a progressive policy of government, which is the Funza Lushaka bursary scheme. So the Funza Lushaka bursary scheme is aimed at addressing the low educational outputs in the poor, rural, historically disadvantaged, primarily African schools. Because there's low teacher content knowledge, there aren't sufficient teachers, there aren't sufficient resources. So the Funza Lushaka bursary scheme gives bursaries to people who are African language speaking and would be prepared to go back into these rural areas and teach as payment for their bursaries. And what happened was Solidariteit, which is one of these organizations, Afrikaans organizations that actually challenges a lot of progressive policy, challenged this and said it's discrimination against white people. We then went in and said it's not discrimination. It's fair discrimination because it's justifiable. It seeks to address a past wrong. So therefore, it's justifiable. The other thing is they also said it's a violation of the right to higher education of white students. And we said, no, it's not about the right to higher education. This is a progressive policy to fix basic education. And it was interesting because in that judgment, our name was all over the case. And it also points to the confidence that the legal world, the judiciary, but also people have in us, that a judge can say, let's call up Section 27, and in 2 weeks get them to come and argue whether they think this is unfair discrimination or not, which is what we did.